Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Wednesday, September 17th. We are back like we never left. A lot to talk about. Obviously, it's Wednesday, so it's Ask Mikey and Mitch Day. So throw your questions in the chat if you haven't done so on social media. If you have done that, ask more questions. The more the merrier. We love that. A lot of conversation about LSU football, about college football. A lot of things have come out in college football. Some suspensions for coaches. Some crying and whining from coaches. You had the SEC conference call today, which Brian Kelly was on, answer some questions about Nusmire. We're going to get to those. Should Nuss start if he's banged up? Should he sit? Should he not play? Should he play? All those questions have been asked. I personally think he should play. We're going to get into this. Brian Kelly obviously said he is playing. Says he's on the back end of that injury. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Obliques, or I don't know if it's a torso injury. I don't know if it's an oblique per se. How much he strained it, we don't know. But I've had some experiences with an oblique injury. Obviously, they're tricky and not really fun, but there's definitely levels of severity to it. And obviously, if he's been playing through it, the level of severity that he had with this torso injury obviously did not prevent him from playing, which is a good sign. These things do get better, and it seems like he's on the back end. So we're going to get into that as well. It is September 27th, as I said, which means baseball season is coming down to the wire. There are a lot of really good playoff races happening. Major League Baseball playoffs are starting in October. Lloyd, I want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you. I'm glad you told me before the show.
Die-hard Cubs fan you are.
Oh, yeah.
Cubs made the playoff for the first time since 2000. I mean, no, 2020.
2020.
Not 2000.
Then I would be much more excited.
Yeah, you'd be a lot more excited, but first time since 2020, Cubs are back in the postseason. They are one of many that you're going to start seeing have clinched their spots in the playoffs. They're not the first team. There's been other teams that have clinched playoff spots. But I wanted to bring it up because you are a Cubs fan, and so I'm excited for you.
Now I can start watching.
Now you can. This is when the fun starts. We talked about October is the best sports month of the year because you got Major League Baseball playoffs mixed in with college football, which is in the second month of the season, which things really start to get going, get interesting. Conference play starts. NFL, they're in the second month of their season, so things get real interesting there. So it's a really good time if you're a sports fan. And so we are looking forward to that. We're joined by the squad. Obviously, Lloyd, producer Lloyd, right there. I'm sure. You think people are getting tired of seeing you everywhere?
Absolutely.
You're everywhere.
They didn't like
hardest working man in show business.
That's right. They didn't like me when they barely saw me.
Now they see a lot. I see a lot
of me.
Look, I love you.
I appreciate that.
I like it. I like these. Sometimes we have to move these shows up a little bit. I think it brings a little bit more energy because we're not waiting that extra 2 hours. It messes up your nap time, I know, but you get to get home a little earlier and not have to slave away at work late at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get that. There's nothing like that kicking that 8 o'clock at
time to recover. We're also joined by our national champion, our football national champion, and baseball national champion, co-host. Plays football in high school, top 100 football recruit. Played football right-handed, quarterback right-handed. Played center fielder left-handed. Multifaceted, multi-talented.
Coming to a golf course near you.
I guess studio anchor. No, not. I guess anchor. Studio personality of SEC Network. Co-host Jared Mitchell. Jay, how you doing?
I'm living. I'm definitely not an anchor, so let's get that one correct right now. But I'm well, boys. I'm here. By the way, I'm gonna be playing some golf in October. So
hey, you're coming to Baton Rouge?
Feel free to. Yeah. Feel free to kind of go ahead and free up that schedule a little bit.
Whoa, you gotta give us what dates? Back. What dates are they?
Do a show on the road.
It's probably the South Carolina week. I don't know exactly what day we'll be there, but
okay,
we coming in hot.
What course?
I don't fucking know, Mikey.
Well, it sounds like you got them all planned out. I just didn't know if you had you're already hey, we're gonna play here.
I don't know.
He's just bringing the clubs.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. I love that.
Yeah,
we'll get you on there. We'll have a good time. We'll get on there. Lloyd's been begging for us all to go out there and bring the cameras and video, and it's I can't bring myself to do it yet, but maybe one day.
Mikey likes to, It's fun. It's more fun to talk about whenever it does. It could be whatever story you want it to be.
Yeah, but I don't.
It could be an 82.
Mikey's waiting until he's a scratch golfer to want to do it.
I will say this: you can attest to this. I don't like. I mean, I'm not gonna like overinflate what I did. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, I shot a 95, but I really shot an 85. I mean, I'm not gonna say I shot an 85, but really shot a 95. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think that the expectations are so high on you that you should avoid the camera. Because
I agree. It's not that. It's not the expectation. It's just
you played baseball in front of millions of people.
It's not that. It's just if
you were better,
I want to lock in on my golf game. I need to get it more consistent.
What's the score?
What? When
you'd be like, yeah, dude, bring the cameras out. I want you to.
If I'm consistently shooting low to mid 80s, consistently, I say you can bring the cameras out.
Okay, let's get there.
I'm getting there.
I want people to see, or I'll just film you and not tell you. I want people to see Mikey after just that part of the personality.
Which one, a bad swing or a good swing?
You get both, but an errant tee shot is one of the funnier things, or a bad iron shot is a delight.
You get a little peek in the brain.
I'm about to say, call me crazy. Hey, call me crazy. Call me crazy.
Oh, he's crazy.
Nobody want to see us shoot low to mid 80s. They want to see us just duff one, break a club, throw some shit in the pond.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
I feel like that's what everybody wants to see.
That's gonna happen.
Pretty
even
much in that range of my golf game right now.
Even low to mid 80s. That happens.
It might happen more.
Now you get a peek and a glimpse into the mind of me.
Mm-hmm. Mind of a maniac.
They have little Tourette's comes out. And it's not even yelling at the golf ball. It's yelling at myself.
He's yelling at himself. He's so mean to him.
The thoughts that come out of my head, just verbalize it to myself. I mean, you could.
It's that video of the guy playing with his girlfriend, and he hits a bad shot. He goes, "Oh, fuck me." And she goes, "No, we don't talk like that." He goes, "I'm gonna kill myself." And she goes, "Okay."
Yeah, it's it's the combination. I'll tell you this. I create a lot of combinations of curse words that aren't supposed to be together.
No, it's Tourette's.
Yeah, but it's okay.
So what you're telling me is your creative side comes out when you're on the course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if you call it creative. It's
just your anger.
It's just but you know what? It's not every shot. It's not like I'm not much of a club thrower.
Expectations are high.
I have high standards for myself. I should not right now in the golf game, but I do. So.
We'll get there.
On
camera.
Yeah, eventually. But, okay, so it's Ask Mikey and Mitch Wednesday. Put your questions in the chat. We're not going to obviously start off with the Ask Mikey and Mitch questions. I want to start off with the question that was posed on Monday by ours truly, Lloyd, to Bryce Kuhn about Nusmire. When, Brian Kelly finally comes out and says, admits that Nuss has been dealing with a torso injury. My thought was, when he initially said it was, okay, he must be getting better, or Brian Kelly would not have mentioned it because he hasn't mentioned it up to this point. And according to Brian Kelly's press conference today, or as the teleconference, the SC teleconference, is Nuss is his practice reps this week, and he's doing things in practice that he hasn't done over the course of the month, and he's on the back end of this torso injury, which he didn't specify what the torso injury was. As an athlete and as somebody that has dealt with a torso injury, I would only surmise that it is a tweaked oblique. That's what I would assume, a torso injury. No, it could be something else. It could be a bruised rib. I don't know. It could be something. But if I had to guess, I would think it's some sort of oblique deal, which really affects rotation, really affects extension. That's why I feel like you haven't seen him throw the ball down the field as often or as effectively as he has in the past. And so the fact that he's on the back end of it, and the fact that Brian Kelly says that, he's feeling better.
Last week's game, but they did. If you watched the game at home, if you saw the telecast, or if you rewatched the game, they did give the information that last week was the first week that Nuss fully practiced. So without it getting worse in the game, watch the game at home, if you saw the telecast, or if you rewatched the game, they did give the information that last week was the first week that Nuss fully practiced. So without it getting worse in the game, it's not even a question if he's going to play it all this week or not. He's 100% playing. Now the second part of that is if he finally practiced 100%, on the week that lets you know that it is feeling better, that it has gotten better, that he is on his way to being healthy again. Now, the next part of that is, for me, is that it's not just about his health, right? Like, at the end of the day, yeah, we need you to be able to make throws. He's still able to rip the ball. Maybe not completely to where he wants to be, but there's a timing issue. There's a timing factor that has to go into it in terms of how he is throwing balls with his teammates. If he's not playing and they're not getting a chance to run these routes and see these balls come out, then it doesn't matter. And also, he needs to be able to learn in these situations how to play if it's not 100% perfect. Correct. So there's a lot of reasons as to why he should be playing. The only thing that could possibly not have him playing was if it had gotten worse last week, which he finished the ball game. So it probably didn't get worse. So I would expect him to practice fully again this week, and I expect him to be playing on Saturday. Now, the last part of that is it would be great for them as a team to have a great offensive performance, not only for numbers, but secondly, to be able to get them out of the game early and that they're not playing a full 4 quarters. That's the only other part of it. But I 100% expect him to be out there, and I think he is on the other side of it. Mikey made a great point earlier is Brian Kelly never came out and actually said, hey, this is what he's dealing with, or never mentioned it before. He didn't just by a happen to chance or just kind of slip and do that last week. He's on the other side of this thing. It's a matter of when, not if, at this point, I would imagine.
Yeah, if we've learned anything from Brian Kelly since in his tenure here, he doesn't do anything off the cuff.
Ricky got tenure.
Right? What'd he say?
Ricky had tenure.
Ricky had tenure. Ricky had 15 years.
I got 11, 12, 13.
If we've
R.I.P. baby.
If we've learned anything from BK is he doesn't do anything off the cuff. He does things that are very calculated. He thinks about the things that he's going to say and how he's going to say them. And so him coming out and mentioning it makes me feel like he feels comfortable enough to, hey, this guy has made Lloyd.
Science.
Oh my God.
Jesus, look, why don't you explain this?
Lloyd, goodness.
Explain it, Lloyd.
Yeah, I don't know, for those that aren't medical doctors or in the family. Yep. The external oblique, highlighted in red here to your left and right, it's responsible for the twisting of the trunk.
Thank you.
And as a quarterback,
there's a lot of twisting of the trunk. And look, here's the deal. Let's talk about the oblique. Now, baseball and football are a little different. Baseball, I would say, depending on how bad you strained it, baseball puts more strain on the oblique because everything is rotational, right? Like you can run, a severe strain, like it affects the running and the pumping of the arms and those types of things. But obviously, swinging a baseball bat and rotating and throwing a ball, like that doesn't feel good. His strain obviously wasn't as severe as it could have been because he continued to play through it. When I had mine, I couldn't take a shit without it hurting. Like, that's not an exaggeration. Yeah. Like, it sucked. Like, the first week, it sucked to breathe. I couldn't extend anything. Like, if I sneezed, I would want to cry. Like, it hurt. And then, it got better and better and better. It took me about 5 weeks to get back, and it still wasn't fully healthy for about another 2 or 3 weeks after that. So my point is, mine was a little bit more severe. Obviously, baseball is a little different. His wasn't, so he was able to play through it. I wouldn't even consider it a complete strain. Maybe he tweaked it, and it was just something that was uncomfortable for him, but it wasn't something that prohibited him from playing the game. Now, him being out there and it being better and healing, as a quarterback, obviously you rotate. So you have a lot of rotation, but you also get extension with your arm when you throw the football, right? And so the extension is where you're going to see a lot of the problems with an oblique. He was able to throw the short to mid-range throws pretty good. The deep balls, where you have to have a lot more torque and a lot more extension, is where you saw some of his issues, his inaccuracies. And I think that you're going to see that improve as he continues to get healthier and healthier. So I think it's a good sign. But to your point, Jared, I think it is very important for him to continue to get reps with the starting wide receivers, because he hasn't had enough time with them to kind of build that chemistry. I think it's important for them to go out there and play well, right? I think it's important for them to go out there, put up points in the first half, come out after halftime, and allow the guys behind them to get more reps. Like, that's important for a team. No matter how good or bad you are, you want the guys in the too deep depth chart to be able to go out there and get reps and get plays. And you want your backup quarterback to get reps because, God forbid, something happened in the middle of a game. You want him to be able to get there and be up to speed with the offense and be able to, not the first time to come out there when it's a big game and you need him to do something and he hasn't been out there all year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like the reps are important, and I would imagine too if the oblique's been bothering or the level that it's been bothering. I think it's perfect. Like everybody laughed at the whole joke, or let's say joke, the whole drill that Dak was doing. Boy, was it like 3 years ago, and that became a meme and all of that. That is literally using your body to throw. That's quarterbacks learning, and that kind of became more of a wave recently, learning how to have the shoulder and hip separation, which only makes you have to use your midsection more to throw the ball. So basically what they're being taught is taking the arm out of it and letting the arm be the last thing that follows, which one, it allows you to be more efficient, more powerful, and two, it allows you to be more accurate because you're not literally just trying to throw with your arm. Well, if you're doing that more, and that's how you throw more when you hurt an oblique, it becomes hard to do that, and it becomes hard to do that the more and more you have to push the ball down the field. So I'd imagine that's probably been a little bit of what's going on with him in terms of actually pushing the ball. And then now you don't only get the accuracy part of it, but you also have that probably lingering in his mind, like, do I want to let this ball go? Do I want to make this? Can I make this throw? And how much will this hurt me to try to make this throw? So there's parts of the game in terms of he needs to get out there and play, right? Like you have to be able to do it. But also at the same time, they're also showing you, hey, he's able to do this. We need to do this, but we also need this not just for you. We need this for the receivers and these guys to get these game time and real time reps with you as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Lloyd, what's your opinion on this?
My opinion is what in terms of the injury or why
injury
why
not playing. Do you think that the injury? Do you think that Brian Kelly is saying this as a?
I'm more.
I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
What?
I think you think Brian Kelly brought that up just to mask his offensive
woes,
shortcomings of the offense.
Shortcomings, however you want to phrase it. I just think it's interesting that the way he phrased it when it was, I guess, brought up to him that the first time he revealed the injury, right? Where he's like, I wasn't going to say anything.
That's not true, Lloyd. Lloyd, that's not true. They revealed that the man practiced all week last week during the game. So they're telling you during the game that that's the first time he practiced. So then Brian Kelly came out after the game and said that he's on the other side of it. But they had already said this before the quote-unquote offensive woes in this game. So that's not – we can't say that. Like, they already had told you that he finally practiced in full for 1 week.
Finish.
I was going to say the way he phrased it with the media – not to the broadcast, which I'm sure that's why he decided to get in front of it finally, is because he actually is getting behind it. But it was asked about because people heard the broadcast, people went and watched back and heard that, that this was talked about. And he's like, I guess I wasn't going to reveal this to you, but I guess I will. I don't know if that's something that they weren't supposed to say in the booth, if that's something that, became more of a bigger deal. But for him to, I guess, to get to the point of, I wasn't going to tell you, but now I'll tell you because it's fine. I guess because he's finally behind it. Does that make sense? That's what I'm wondering.
That's what I think. I think
it's finally because it's good. It's like I'll talk about it.
I think it's like, hey, it wasn't going to ever prohibit him from playing, right? So it's not something that we needed to bring attention to. We're going to deal with this internally, right? He's not on the injury report because he is doing stuff at practice, and they were trying to just protect him and be proactive of trying to allow him to be part of the game plan and play and try to let it heal on its own. And so the fact that he was never in jeopardy of playing, I think that's part of why you haven't heard about it. And now that they say it, I do think that's because he's getting on the back end of it. And it's like, okay, yeah, look, he was doing this, and he is better. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see him look different. I think that's part of it for sure. And look, and maybe there's a small smidgen of a part of it. It's like, hey, look, he wasn't 100%, so the offense is gonna be better. Maybe that's his way of saying, hey, just be patient. Like, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
And honestly, because he said, he's like, look, I have a lot of confidence in our defense, and we have to win games in ways that we need to win games based off of how the game is going. And he has a defense that he's been very, very confident in to win a game for him. And so those comments now make a lot more sense of like, hey, our quarterback's not 100%. We're not going to put him in a situation to make a big mistake. Because he's not maybe fully capable yet because of the injury. So we're going to leave it in the hands of the unit that has been as dominant as anyone in the country, and we're going to win the games that way until our guy's healthy.
Do you think he would have said anything earlier had they lost?
No, I don't.
What is this? What does that do?
The pronation?
No, the pad.
Where?
The pad.
This, on his abdominals.
I don't know what that is. I think I don't
It
know.
looks like it's tape, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's what I was wondering. I figured it's something to do
That
with
that looks like the body tape that they use a lot on like shoulders and knees and hammies and stuff like that.
K-tape?
I could be wrong, but it looks like.
Yeah, that's what they call it, right?
K-tape?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
That's what it looks like to me. I don't know for sure, though.
This is when I started to do, this is, conspiracy theorist Lloyd. When this was posted, August 26th, I took a screenshot of it and I was like, showed it to Noah. And I was like, I wonder what this is. And now it comes out that...
Well, that was about the time that I sent you a text.
So that's when I started to really do some digging. And, I fancy myself, if I want information, I like to be able to find it. And then, Instagram can be Instagram. And, it's a ho-hum picture until maybe there's some information out there. And so I just thought that was interesting when you saw this literally on that day. And I think that, I guess it's what happened in August, I guess it's fair to say.
Yeah, probably.
And so it's been how many weeks since then? It's been a month?
Yeah, and look, a lot of these injuries have happened because of overuse, obviously, but a mixture of overuse and like dehydration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, muscle fatigue, and then you kind of overuse it, and it just kind of tweaks. That's kind of where a lot of, muscular injuries happen.
And I did get some perspective from a doctor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh. Dallas-Fort Worth. Okay.
Hey, I've got you shoot some emails out. What can you get? I don't know the nature.
You just shot emails at random doctors?
Yeah.
Did you really?
No, this is it is a doctor on Tiger Droppings.
All right, I was about to say. Are you sure he's a doctor?
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he's very.
Did he have like doctor
MD.
before his name?
No, but it does feel like he knows what he's talking. He wouldn't say he's
like
speaking
a PhD doctor or MD.
I think MD.
Okay.
He treats a lot of athletes in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I couldn't find his email based on his screen name.
I imagine it's not doctor or whatever.
No, it's not. And
okay.
Contact me here.
Oh, right.
Let me preface this. I don't know the nature of the injury, but I can offer perspective on torso injuries I treat. Assuming Kelly's timeline is accurate, but he is about that 4 to 5 week mark of recovery, which is where we
45 day.
4 to 5 weeks.
Oh, 4 to 5 week. My bad. Okay.
Meaning that's most likely on the back end of the recovery period. If it's an abdominal oblique strain, timeline can vary with degrees of strain, but anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, depending on if re-injury occurs. Trunk rotation severely affected. Actually, issues will be seen as well as lack of power on throws. Treatments I would be doing: stem, ice during the week, heat before games, shockwave therapy, K-taping.
There you go.
And myofascial work. If it's a back or lumbar strain, similar to above 4 to 6 weeks, trunk rotation greatly affected, power affected, compensate with arm. Treatments would be everything above, but also add dry needling. He also went on to say it could be a rib subluxation.
Yep.
But that is just saying, because I don't know the nature of the injury.
Rib comes out of place and comes back in.
And he said that would be the worst case scenario, but assuming everything that we feel like we know, he doesn't think that's what it is.
Hey, I'll tell you what. What was the last thing you said? The treatment on the first one, like the
stem?
Nope. After that,
heat.
Nope.
The needling.
Nope. The last one.
Myofascial work.
Hey,
that shit sucks.
That shit sucks. All right, like that is basically you're laying down there and you are getting a thumb or a
rolling pin,
or sometimes depending on where it's at, a metal tool that they roll it out. That ain't fun.
That's how girls stay pretty.
What?
They do it on their face.
That's not the same thing.
But it's close.
That's an ice little thing that they roll. That's definitely not the same thing. Definitely not the same thing. But yeah, I think you're gonna see the Nuss that you saw last year, this weekend and next weekend. The more important thing is next weekend.
And he goes on to say, which I think is interesting, which is why maybe he is continuing to play. They don't get better. Somebody's commented, I thought they don't get anything better but rest, and Nuss should sit this week and rest up for the trip to Oxford. It's not necessarily true. Appropriate rehab can certainly accelerate the healing process. You actually feel much worse if you don't move around.
Correct.
It stiffens up. You want blood flow to the injury in order for it to heal quickly and effectively. So in this case, movement is medicine.
It's a pain tolerance thing.
Yeah, just got to avoid taking big shots or having major setbacks. I would say active rest would be the best approach, which is what they've been doing. And so if the timeline adds up, it does feel like that they're closer to the back end of this. But regardless of if back end, front end, middle end, this has become the story.
Correct.
Right? Because it is a great.
It's the story until it's not the story.
You got to remember, too. I got to throw this out there, too. You got to remember, if it is an oblique, if it hindered him from practicing as much as he needed to, you got to imagine that it also probably limited the amount of deep shots that they would take during practice. So if we're not taking the deep shots during practice, we're not practicing every day of the week, there's no way you can come in and think that the deep shots would be on point and there and or as much during the game. So it all kind of ties in together. It's not just showing up on Saturday and all of a sudden you can't hit the deep shots.
Correct.
Right? It's probably not taking as many of them in during practice, and that all of that timing you're not getting. So like all of these things kind of work together to kind of build up through a week to get you to game day. So if he's finally getting into practice and practicing all week, you got to imagine that there's more deep shots, there's more throwing that's going on, which would only bode for more success on the weekends when you get to that spot.
Correct. And look, you talked about the last thing you said was like, hey, something that they need is not to take big shots. Perfect segue into my next conversation, and my next point to you is not taking shots, like getting hit, is having an offensive line protect you. Right? Offensive line has been, some of them have been subpar. Do we think that we see a change at some positions on the offensive line this weekend? Anybody? Bueller?
If there were going to be a change, what I feel like you can circle maybe one.
I think Karius Carr needs to get in the lineup just to see. Just to see. I mean, in my opinion, it can't get worse. Right, from that side of the line, like I think you just need to give the kid an opportunity just to see. Worst case scenario, you go back to where you were. Best case scenario is you have a dude, which I think they believe they have a dude in him. It's just he's young and he maybe not have been ready. Perfect time to try it out.
Yeah, I don't know if we can say change. I think there might be some opportunity there to see something different. I think maybe even if that doesn't happen, quote unquote, the first team and the offense does what they need to do, you may see that second unit kind of come in and maybe you're evaluating differently what those guys are able to do that spot. I don't know if I'm willing to say change, but there could be some opportunity just to see, like you said, what do we have right here? What is this really going to look like in this situation?
I think opportunity is the best way to say it. Opportunity, and if he takes advantage of that opportunity, I think you could see a change the next week.
And this is, I think, why people are kind of ready to see maybe Weston Davis.
Look, I think, and I'll preface this before you show it. I think Weston Davis could potentially be a really good player here.
Right.
I think he's extremely talented. Playing that position he plays is very hard, especially against the front seven that you've been playing, 2 of the 3 front sevens that you've played against. And Louisiana Tech, obviously, talent-wise, but scheme-wise and what they were trying to show at him, obviously, he has never seen that. So it's a tough position. It takes reps. It takes experience. And so I think he's going to be a really good player. But with that said, go ahead.
I don't think if you're Caden Durham, you don't really ever want to see Weston Davis's eyes. And you see him at right tackle, obviously gets turned all the way around.
Yeah.
And this is on a 3rd and short. I think it's the first.
Oh, that's the play that we were talking about last week. Last show.
And so this is kind of, I think this is what people are pointing at when you see, kind of doesn't really help the run game.
Yeah, right. And look, we kind of broke that down a little bit last week. Last show. Look, they're not getting to the second level. There's a lot of things they're not doing. It wasn't just him, but that obviously that's not a good look when you go there and you turn all the way around and you're looking backwards. Hey, who was it? Was it someone in the NFL that had a play where he literally ran around in circles and didn't touch anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the NFL? Or was that college? I don't remember who it was, but that was pretty funny, actually. Yeah, not good. Not funny if you're the quarterback or running back getting hit, but
looking for work. Just can't find any. And then this is another one that we highlighted on the morning show. And this isn't a bash Weston Davis segment. Well, Jordy called him Weston Banks for an entire year.
So it's got you confused. You're
WD.
pulling on me right now.
No, it's just a B thing. So that's when I go to say his name. I'm
Weston
like, hold
Davis.
on, it's Weston Davis. This is another one that we saw, and it's, like I said, not a bash him segment, but, he's just getting worked. And still, Juwan Johnson able to find a hole.
Well, because luckily it was far enough away from where the play was being run.
Athlete though caught himself.
Now listen, there's going to be a learning curve, right? And he got thrown into it. I think he's going to be good. He's had some struggles early on in the season, and I think he's going to be better for it. But I do think you see some other guys get an opportunity and see what they do with it, and hopefully they excel, and you're able to have some continuity with the offensive line. And I think that'll help the running game be a little bit more consistent with the running back. The running game be a little bit more consistent and just kind of getting the flow of what you want the offense or what you expected the offense to be. Do we have any questions yet? For Ask Mikey Mitch, 30 questions in there.
Yeah, help us.
Jared, do you have any other things that I guess you want to see them improve on or them continue to excel at over the weekend or leading up to the Southeastern game?
I mean, I won't say improve on. I think it needs to start progressing. I think that playbook needs to start opening up, and maybe we're finding out that maybe it was we think our defense is that good. We don't necessarily need it yet. Maybe it was Nuss is dealing with a little bit of an injury. We're not there yet. Maybe it's hey, we think we got 8 dudes in this receiver room and we're going to move them all in and out, so it's going to take us some time. Maybe it's a combination of all 3 of those, but I do want to see the pass game start to graduate a little bit and start to open up more. I think that's kind of something that's been missing a little bit in this offense. And for me, just me, because I talked about this earlier, I think everybody looked at that room in terms of the receivers, and you looked at who you had coming back as a quarterback, and you said, oh, for sure, hit the ground running, we'll be throwing for 350 a game, no big deal. I wasn't necessarily in that book because I told you from the start, I was like, and we're seeing buy-in too. But there's obviously more than just buy-in. There's time. There's real-time game reps. Those things kind of matter. And I think we're seeing that kind of all play out right now where everything's not hitting at, A1. And obviously the injuries probably got a little bit to do with it as well. But I thought it may take that pass game a little bit of time. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy, but like a little bit of time to kind of really start feeling themselves out. But that's also – because it's taken that time, that's also what makes me feel so much better about this ball club, because with it taking that time, with you not, let's say, running for 6 yards a carry and 200 yards a game, you're 3-0, and you've played well what was at the start of the season 2 ranked ball clubs. So I think those things matter. I think you're finding ways to win games when you're not at your best, and that's one of the marks of a very good ball club is when you're able to win ball games without being at your best. And let's tell the truth, the last part of it, bro, we ain't even hit October yet. I don't need you playing your best right now.
Right.
I don't need you peaking right now.
I don't want you peaking right now.
That's kind of how I look at it. I want it. Yeah, I don't need that. That's how I look at it. That's what I want to see. I want to see it start to graduate and open up a little bit.
And look, I know it's easy to jump on the Florida train. Like, hey, they terrible. Oh, my God, they lost to USF. And then you go and you only beat them by 20-10. You only beat them by 10 points. You only scored 13 points offensively. I know that's an easy thing to talk about. Well, Florida's going on the road to Miami, which I think everybody in this room would agree. Up to this point, Miami's probably been the most impressive team in college football in the first 3 weeks of the season. They go to Miami, who's ranked 4 in the country, and they're Miami's 7.5-point favorites at home, right? Which, they're a touchdown. Yeah, but you would think after what Florida did against USF and what Florida did against LSU, losing 2 games in a row and not really doing really well offensively, that Miami would be more of a favorite. Florida's defense is really good, right? Like their defense was not the reason they lost the game. The offense was the reason they lost the game. And so I think Florida, look, they may not win that game. They have a tough schedule, but I think we can't overlook the fact that Florida's defense was really good. I mean, they got guys on that defense that got to play in the NFL. With that said, do you think Florida covers the 7.5?
Overlook too, not just like the talent part of it, man. Like they came in trying to prove something. Like that game meant something to them. I think people sometimes overlook shit like that and just think like, oh, we're better than them. Oh, but they just lost to this team. Oh, but they just got punched in the mouth here. Usually, especially in football, it's tough facing a team that was supposed to win a week before, and the very next week, they're playing with something to prove. They're playing with a little piss and vinegar. Like, you have to combat that, and football is the sport because there is so much aggression that you can use in that it becomes tough playing that team to kind of calm that or overcome that and still be able to beat them. So you got to give that a little bit of credence as well, because it's not just, hey, here's a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. No. Like, this game, unlike others, I can keep throwing that 100-mile-an-hour fastball if it's stronger than what you got on the other side. I don't have to throw the breaking ball that much. And that's the difference in this thing. If there's any kind of I'm decently bought in amongst the players, right? You knew that was going to be a tough game. It just is.
And look, you talk about emotion. It's an emotional game. It's a rivalry game. Emotions are high. People get heated. We saw that beginning of the game. A little disagreement between LSU and Florida, which I feel like happens a lot, especially between those two teams. Right in the middle of that, though, was a former staffer at LSU, now staffer at Florida, who is now suspended for 3 games. Jabbar Juluke, right in the middle of that scuffle. Like you said, emotional, high-strung game. Jabbar Juluke had a little smack on a player for LSU. Right in the middle of the scuffle, coach in the middle of the scuffle, not great. Look at Pyburn right in the middle of that thing, though. His old teammates. I imagine that's Pyburn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So look, there's the slow-mo.
Smack.
Wow. Got him.
We'll say this.
Jabbar Juluke
Do
suspended
not
3 games.
condone the behavior, and I wonder if the video portion of this will have any impact on the suspension, because I don't know if people have their
Is
opinion.
3 enough? Is that what you're about to ask?
3 enough? But I think whenever you heard that there was an altercation, and you saw the video of this on the sideline, it's like, well, I wonder if he shove a kid. He publicly apologized to a player. It's like if he just pushed him, whatever, like you shouldn't be doing that as a coach. There's rumors that he is the one that told them to go over there, like led the charge, allegedly.
Well, he's right in the middle of it.
Right, yeah, as a coach. But then when you put video to it and he slapped the shit out of him, if that changes how you feel about the suspension at all. Because a lot of people are calling for him to be fired.
And look.
And it's not your player.
No, not your player. Not good look. I mean, a coach should never. Never hit your own player, but specifically, like, don't. You're supposed to be. Cooler heads are supposed to prevail. As a coach, you're supposed to set an example, and you're supposed to say, hey, this is what we need to do. Can't be in the middle of that thing starting the fight. You can have a lot of, back and forth, but if you're the one slapping somebody and you kind of escalated it, that's not a good look. And, look, they suspended him 3 games. I would not be shocked if we heard, he's suspended for the rest of the year or suspended for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're supposed to be the adult in the room as a coach, right? So I think that's the biggest part of it. The second part is I don't really know where the past jurisdiction of things like this has been. So I don't remember off the top of my head hearing about any coaches getting fired for being in things like this. So that alone would lead me to think like firing is probably not. That's probably a little aggressive. If there was more, if the suspension happened before this video came out, if there's more of a suspension that's tacked on, I wouldn't be that surprised. But I mean, I don't see anything that wrong with the 3 and keep it moving.
Yeah, I don't think they fire him because of it. I think he's, maybe added a game or 2 to it, but I don't think they fire him. I think it's one of those things. Hey, if you are on kind of probation, you do something like that again, you're out.
Well, and it speaks to. There's no world in which the SEC didn't see this video before they handed down a punishment.
Correct.
And so they saw this and said 3 games is good.
Correct.
Florida said 3 games is good.
Yeah. Correct.
And so that's where the backlash would come. It would be. I mean, obviously it's on Jabbar Juluke, but
hey, you know what? It doesn't affect us one way or the other. If he gets us, the game's already over.
Well, it does have an impact on how the SEC is viewed. I would imagine be like. This is an unserious conference in terms of player protection and all of that, and what happens in 2025. But I mean, also this happened in 1965 when Woody Hayes put his hands on the kid and he got fired. That was the last game he coached.
Yeah, correct. So I guess there's I mean, I haven't seen a ton of it, right? Like,
well, that's because that shouldn't happen.
Right, 100%. And it's a good thing we haven't seen a ton of it, actually. Like, if we've seen a ton of it, then we got a bigger problem. But look, I'm not the player. I'm not making the suspension. But I think 3 games is plenty.
Also, before there was 2 types of scuffles. This was one that also happened, and you have to feel for. Caleb Jackson got immediately called out during the walkthrough, and this is tough to hear.
You ain't gonna play, right?
He said, I can see why you don't play. You're soft. And he's like, I don't even want to talk to you. You don't play. And yeah, there's nothing. I mean, it just sucks for Caleb Jackson, who is still, I would say, is considered to be the Great White Buffalo. Like, everybody wants to see him get going. You see the talent, you see all of it, and then, I mean, you get called out like that. You can't do anything about it.
That's tough. I mean, there's really nothing you can do at that point. What are you gonna do? Tackle him?
Right. I'd like to play.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. Staying on the college football conversation outside of LSU for a second.
Well, real quick, what do you think happens with Juluke? I mean, obviously, it's not.
I think the suspension stays as is.
Yeah, because I don't. Well, yeah, I could see it either way. Because if you're SEC and the public pressure starts to happen the way that it is, where it's mounting very much, I could imagine that they're like it's a running back coach that probably won't be there if Billy Napier gets fired, and it's not somebody they're going to promote to head coach, even though he does have the label of associate head coach. But I don't see a world if they come back from this if Florida's going to fight very hard to keep him.
No, but I mean, so you think he gets,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think suspension stays status quo. What do you think?
I think the world we live in, they got it. I don't know. They've already made a decision, so now it looks like you made the wrong decision. I don't know. This could go away.
Yeah.
Let him play one more week. I don't think it's something that keeps coming up, and it's like it becomes so.
He just needs to get out of the news cycle.
Right. Needs something else to happen.
Yeah. Right.
Go beat Miami.
Well, look, something else that we can talk about. Something else that happens is your favorite coach,
Lane?
Dabo.
Oh.
Swinney. In the news again. Dabo loves
some Dabo.
Woe is me. Poor little old Clemson. Hey, if Clemson doesn't like winning, they can get rid of me. You know what I mean? If they don't like winning the conference 8 of the last 10 years and being in the playoffs 7 of the last 10 years, they can get rid of me. I ain't gotta be here. They don't like winning. They can get rid of me.
If you don't,
that's a tired act, uncle, on the whole. Look at what I've done in the past. Look how good I am. Hey, there's never been a what have you done in the past. It's look at what have you done now. Like, what have you done for me lately? And your team came in with national championship aspirations, a defense. You've returned, been very well documented. You returned more starters than anybody in the history, anybody in college football this year. I think you returned 85% of your starters, and you're 1-2. You lost to LSU, tough game, fine. LSU, good team. Then you lose to Georgia Tech, and you're not physical. You're not scoring. You have a Heisman contender at quarterback, and you haven't scored any points. You haven't been good, and rightfully so. People have every right to be upset with you. To come out and say that to me is just soft.
And here he is.
If they want me gone, if they tired of winning, they can send me on the way because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking, is that good? I don't know if that's good or not. To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah, we're a little down right now. Take your shots, but I got a long memory in case y'all don't know. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back. This is a program built to last. Always has been. Always will be. And I would just say if you give up on us if you don't believe in us because we've lost 2 games down to the last straight and you didn't believe in us anyway, so it don't matter. You wasn't all in anyway. If you're all in, you burn the ships, man. There ain't no exit strategy. Like, you're freaking all in. And hey, listen, I mean, if Clemson's tired of winning, they send me on my way, but I'm going to go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go.
I saw him at the beach.
Y'all going to have to deal with me for a while. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting going.
Dallas
I'm
Beach
just
is
now good enough to be a head coach.
Listen.
Damn, you and Dabo vacationing at the same
Hey,
beach?
Dabo was right next to me at dinner one night. I saw him.
What do you get?
Before the season started. I don't know, but he was having a good time with his friends. He was having a good time. Okay.
Well,
Damn.
He's been successful. He's won games. All of that stuff is true. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter right now. You're 1-2 and you haven't looked good playing.
And
This is the second year in a row you've done that. If you're not playing in the ACC last year, 0% chance you win the conference and get to the. But you are. I get it. You have to play the schedule you have and you play the conference that you're in. But you have every right to question, hey, what's going on? You've done this 2 years in a row. We can't have you go 1-2 and then you have to go make this big run through the conference, which the conference, you have Florida State is playing better than you. Miami, but I don't think did they play Miami?
I don't know.
I don't know if they play South Carolina at the end of the year, but you have some teams in this conference that are playing better than you. You lost to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's they are the front runners to win the conference now because their schedule sets up very nicely for them. So people have the right to question that. If you get upset about it, then that's just you're a little delusional, in my opinion.
Well, and he can list all the resume he wants, which it is an impressive one.
No doubt.
Win your conference, and it's the ACC, but to win it 8 out of 10 years, go to the college football playoffs,
Very
7
impressive.
out of 10 years, 4 national championship appearances, and 2 title wins is a good resume.
Correct.
But there's also comes like a fatigue with Dabo at some point to where that kind of stuff, where it's interesting to see the weight of that LSU Clemson game and how coaches are handling it differently, because you would imagine that Brian Kelly would be kind of having to tout his resume if things had gone differently, where he lost another opener,
Right.
and that press conference would have been a little bit different. But them being the lone two in the media that are just going at it, like, I do this, I get mad at a media member. No, I got to go protect myself, and I'll get mad at the media. They've been going back and forth for what seems like 4 weeks now. But for Dabo to tout his resume, but to think about where he currently is, if you go back in time, if Clemson doesn't get a 50-yard touchdown run with 1:16 to play versus Pitt, a 57-yard field goal as time expires versus SMU, the Tigers will be 1-7 in their last 8 games versus Power 4 opponents. They haven't beaten a Power 4 team by more than 10 points since 2019, since 10-19 of last year versus UVA.
And
1-7 is brutal.
And Troy had him on the ropes.
Yep. Been there.
Been there.
I'll
Right?
just say this. I'll build off of what you just said, Lloyd. This is a business as a player and as a coach where decisions are not made on your entire body of work. They're made on your recent trends, right? And so if you want to tell me you've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years, but you're also, like you said, 1-7 against whatever opponent you just said, and this year you've lost both of these games and you're 1-2 in this situation, decisions get made off of those things, because this is a what have you done for me lately. If I was a great freshman, but I ain't doing shit in my junior year, there's a good chance I'm probably not going to be starting and or getting as much work as I was my freshman year.
Right.
Right? Like, that's probably a thing. So, like, that's kind of how this business goes. So it goes to show you, just like, I'll go back to it, right? Just like a couple days ago, we were all laughing about the situation that happened with Cabo and Brian Kelly. And Brian Kelly's basically in his feelings about a question asked about his offense. He went to his recent history that said, hey, we 3-0. Stop asking me about what we doing like this. So it holds a little more credence, whether you like how he went about it, whether you like how he answered Michael in that situation. You're like, okay, you're right. Y'all still winning. I can't really say that much. Dabo, y'all not winning. I can't say that much.
Correct.
I can't ask these questions. I can't ask where are you going with this thing, because the recency of what you've done ain't as good as you think. It ain't as good as the quote-unquote body of work that you've put together. And that's how decisions get made in this game. It just is what it is. It's the nature of the beast.
And they do not play Miami. They play Florida State at home. And they got
Louisville.
They got Louisville, Florida State. I mean, their schedule isn't
It's the same one they had last year.
isn't super hard, but they got Florida State at home and they got South Carolina on the road last game of the season. They could still go and win their conference. I mean, they've lost 2 games, 1 game in conference, right? So they could still go win it, but just to come out and say that, it's just, I don't know. It's a Dabo fatigue, I think.
Well,
It showed you that they struck a nerve. It showed you that he's actually thinking about it. And it showed you that shit's perturbing them. Like, it's getting under his skin. And if they're talking about your recency And what you've done is not that great. It's not 8 titles in the last 10 years. Nobody cares about that. They want to know what you're doing right now to continue to give them an opportunity to be a real player in the playoffs. That ain't got shit to do with the last 10 years because we ain't had the playoff system like this for the last 10 years.
And the entire structure of college football has changed aside from Clemson. He's been very adamant of, I don't go into the portal. I'm not, I'm sure they pay their players with name, image, and likeness, but it's not as egregious as everyone else, it feels like. But Dabo goes and gets his recruits, and once you commit to Clemson, it feels like you really can't decommit. And then he's making a promise to you on the front end of, I won't go into the portal, so I expect you to stay. And then so if Dabo's going to do it this way, where when it comes to, I want you to stay for all 4 years, which he got in his return for, we went through the roster of how many players that they have that are juniors, seniors that stayed, that could have gone to the draft probably. And now if you're not winning that way, and everybody else is doing it a different way, it's like, well, you're the problem.
Yeah, right, correct. It's just, for me, it's a Dabo fatigue thing, and he always comes off as whining, and I don't love that.
And Ryan's supposed to be here.
Right,
Little
little Clemson. We're in the ACC, not the SEC. ACC is good. We struggle. We're gonna be fine. It's just, it's a tired act, in my opinion.
We have a couple of Ask Mikey and Mitches if you'd like to get to them.
I do, and I would like, because I do want to talk a little bit about some of the matchups they got over the weekend, because there's some interesting ones, and I want to ask y'all's opinion on them.
Just trying to get some gambling advice.
Yes. Also, before we get into that, I will say this: South Carolina's at Missouri. Missouri's favored by 10.5. I think that line is very much predicated on Lenore Sellers with the concussion. I think Lenore Sellers plays.
We'll take it now.
I was about to say, do we take that now at minus 10.5?
It would be Clemson.
Do we take South Carolina?
Would Clemson be 10.5 point? Like,
I think
it's South Carolina at
taking it. You're 100%.
Right.
If you're taking it, you're 100% imagine who's playing. Like, I don't really. If you're taking that, and you better take it now because you won't get it at a better price.
Correct. That was my point. All right.
It's a gamble.
We'll get
gamble on a gamble.
Gamble on a gamble. Maybe I should use my sources and just see what's happening.
Yeah, just start emailing doctors.
Yeah, see some text messages and say, hey, is he playing or not?
Yeah. We kind of covered this one, but I will ask it. It can be brief. LSU_Jimmy. Is it possible that Nuss will be limited in this game on Saturday to allow him to heal before the Ole Miss matchup? Preferably 2 quarters of play maximum and allow backups to play the rest.
He is playing limited as long as the score dictates he's going to be playing limited. They're not going to limit his playing time based off injury. It's going to be limited based off of
the score.
I
am interested to see. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. I'm going to say, and this isn't really just a Nuss thing. Like, this is, you got to understand these non-conference games that are not against, I guess the same talent of opponent. These are opportunities to get other guys real game reps. So it's not just Nuss. I would love for this unit, my offensive unit, my defensive unit, to go out there and actually build us and get us a great lead. Because in the event that somebody goes down, I want this second team player, this third team player to be able to get in and kind of feel like he can kind of roll as this thing goes. So these games are huge in terms of, can we build a surmountable lead early or an insurmountable lead early to where I can put these other guys in and they can get these real reps?
Yeah.
Interested to see. They went out and got Van Buren for a reason. Obviously to be a solid backup option if Nuss were to go down.
You have to remember, can I say something about Van Buren? Van Buren he started last year, but because Shaping got hurt.
Yeah.
Right? He wasn't the starter and he left. I just want to make that clear to a lot of people too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he ever really relinquished the job. I think it was like, we're going to roll with him for at least 6 games, I believe is what he played. But I'm interested to see what the offense looks like with somebody that is a bit more mobile. If you see some of these, I guess, run-pass options and, reading the defensive end. And
you're definitely going to see a different offense with him in the game.
Well, I would say it's the same offense, just run differently. Because there's a lot of these things that they run that Jaden Daniels ran as well, but Nuss just does it differently. Like, a lot of these, the ones that Nuss doesn't keep that he gives, like, there's plays built off of that to dump it underneath be able to run, like the Jaden Daniels offense, where he just pulled it more.
For sure.
And so there's plays off of plays, but whenever you only run the one play, there's no other plays.
Yeah.
Like, you have 3 options, and you only pick the first one every time.
Right.
So it's interesting what Van
That'd be
Buren would do. JP_Alexandre1. Does the Clemson win lose any value now? Also, Mikey, we got to hit that parlay this week.
We gotta hit it. we got to. My betting account needs it. I've been getting crushed. Not gonna say what the term I used in our group text today. Whenever I was,
You said that about yourself.
Whenever I was asked by Jack if he liked a certain bet, I said, "Don't ask me. I'm not."
Leave it at that.
I haven't earned the trust of anybody, and I understand that. What was the question before he said you gotta hit the parlay?
Has the Clemson win lost any value?
Jared, you want to start this one?
Yeah, I mean, as of today, what is it, Wednesday, September 17th? Yeah, of course it has. But that doesn't mean anything. We already alluded to the fact that they've only lost one game in conference. If they go out to run the table, and let's say they do what they need to do to either get into and or win the ACC title, we won't be talking about this the same way at this point. So as of today, yes, but that doesn't mean anything 6 to 8 weeks from now. We don't know what that's going to be like at this point.
Has it lost some luster? Yeah, sure. But in the moment, like, it's easy to look back and say, oh, I mean, did people talked about the Florida State game whenever we lost it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, and it went undefeated, like, oh, well, that was a lot better team than we thought. It's easy to look back and say, oh, it's better or worse. In the moment, though, you haven't played a game. Teams are both very hyped. Like, they're talented. So, yeah, I mean, in the moment, I think it was a big win, but maybe it's lost a little bit of luster, but let's hold judgment until the end of the season.
Well, yeah, and a lot of
like the USC is a perfect example. USC stunk after the game last year.
Here's the thing too. I'll put this on this too. Outside of the USC's, here's the difference between the USC, both Florida State losses, and all of that stuff. You went to Clemson and beat them.
Right.
You didn't beat them on a neutral field. You didn't beat them somewhere like that. You went to Clemson and beat them.
Correct.
Much like Clemson just went to Georgia Tech and got beat. You went to their house and you beat them. I think that is it weighs a little bit more than what people are willing to give it today. And I think as you move forward too, that'll be something you can talk about and actually kind of hang your hat on that as well. Because make no mistake about it, that's not easy. That's a true road game and what's called one of the preeminent spots in America in terms of tough places to play on the road.
Correct.
Mikey and Mitch, Zachary Boudreaux. Which transfer player has been your favorite to watch so far?
Oh. Halsey.
Mine?
Yeah, both of you.
That's been my I've been super impressed with AJ Halsey at the back end of it because same things you said. I mean, we just haven't had a safety like that here in a few years. And it's nice to have a guy that's physical, big, and can go do a little bit of everything in the back end of the defense. But Minnesota Lane obviously has been – he's going to be a first-rounder now.
Yeah, that's why he said he came to LSU.
Yep.
But, yeah, both great picks, and Halsey is something, like you said, you haven't seen LSU known for safety play. To see him fly up and the way he makes
he's
tackles.
cut of the cloth of like –
Cooley's played well, too. Don't sleep on him as well.
Who?
He's played well in that back end as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. But, like, Halsey's cut of the cloth of, like, the safeties that we grew up watching at LSU, big, physical, that can cover and come up and thump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just hadn't seen that in a few years.
The tackling has been so much more improved on the back end.
Yeah.
Let's see. Get J. Mitch back in studio.
Oh, we love it. When he comes in, it's a gift.
Ask Skip and M from Sabion Green. I think we can make this happen. Can I get a signed baseball jersey as a wedding gift for Mikey and Mitch?
Absolutely. Do we need to provide the jersey? Is the question.
Yeah, that's the real question. Yeah.
I do not have another LSU jersey.
You could send that one.
That one?
It's already signed.
I gotta keep at least one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'd do a split jersey.
Tell him you supply the jersey, we supply the signatures.
I'll sign whatever I got for you.
We'll get it done.
I just don't have a jersey to sign for you. I'm sorry.
All right, there's your wedding gift. I'll throw my name in there too.
Any others?
You fuckers keep starting early. Oh, motherfuckers. This is
Yeah.
going to be normal. I'm
sorry.
Here.
Listen, Jared's a busy man. He's got some travel. Lloyd's got a father-son date tonight.
That's right.
Which, I respect that. And to accommodate All of us. We moved to, and look, I like this time. There's other shows that are popular around this area that are going live at this time that it's just hard to compete with, and so that's why we normally go 6 to 8. But we do what we gotta do when we gotta do it.
And credit to you boys for always finding time, because it'd be easy to brush it aside from instead of coming in earlier, finding a different time. So
correct.
Do it for the people.
Correct.
Oh, here we go. Does the Houston kid, Peyton Houston from Evangel, quarterback?
Yep.
Committing and Little Nuss leading to LSU make it weird for Elijah still to be out there?
So we kind of talked about this off air earlier in the week. It feels like, and I think that Elijah Havens is a very, very good, talented player. He's obviously the number one quarterback in that class. But yeah, I mean, it feels like he's not ready to make a decision, but also feels like the coaching staff really likes the other two guys as well, and they're comfortable with those two guys being there, and even if that means they don't get Elijah Havens, is what it feels like. I don't know anything other than what I'm seeing from the outside looking in.
Can you give me the question again, Lloyd? I couldn't hear it.
Ask him. Does the Houston kid, the Peyton Houston quarterback out of Evangel, I believe class of 2027, committing,
yes,
and Little Nuss, Garrett Nussmeier's brother, also leaning toward LSU, make it weird for Elijah Haven, the 5-star quarterback from Dunham, not being committed anywhere? Does it make it odd for him as he's still waiting in the wings?
So yeah, like please, like I don't want to make it seem like it was a shoot and hope you get anything type of situation, but I think people need to understand too, and I think this is correct. If you can go back and check on this, but LSU has not signed a quarterback in or signed up to land Elijah Havens. Now, whether he wants to go somewhere where there's already another top quarterback, that's a completely different conversation. But I think LSU understood we need to have a quarterback out of this class. So if we're going to sit here and wait on just one and we miss out on all three, we can't go 3 years without it.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where that situation is.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just one of those guys that everybody has circled in Elijah Haven, where it's in your backyard, 5
I think LSU circled him too.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And look,
I think they've circled him too. And if you get Bryce Underwood, maybe you wait for him last year. I think that's kind of where the situation is.
And that's going to be a conversation if he ends up not coming here of there's going to be that's going to be more of a optic situation than a.
Did we get the right guy?
Yes. You know what I mean?
The Bryce Underwood situation was a multi-year thing. So you got to imagine that the year before they put all they put all those eggs into the Bryce Underwood basket. So you didn't heavily recruit a quarterback for the year before because you didn't want to scare him off. So you didn't get one then. You didn't get him, right? You have to get a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
So if you go back into saying, well, we're going to pass on Little Nuss and we're going to pass on this guy, I keep forgetting his name, so I'm sorry about that. Because you're waiting on just Elijah Haven. Well, if you're stuck in the same situation and you don't get him, that's 3 years. They just can't happen. That's recruiting malpractice. Like, you just can't do it.
Right.
So I think that was a number one at the top of the list. And if you can still land one of those other two guys on the back end of it, beautiful. And they're probably going to try as hard as they can to do so. But they needed to be able to have one that, especially that they felt really good about in this class. So getting one locked down earlier meant more than just waiting on, quote unquote, who may be the best one or who may pan out the best.
And I will say this, I think that Peyton Houston kid's stock's going to continue to go this way. I think he's really good too. I mean, I think it's just a good class, the Louisiana class of quarterbacks, with those two guys at the top of it, obviously. I think Elijah Havens is really good. I mean, I'm not knocking him at all. I would love to have him here, but like Jared said, availability and they like the guy, and maybe hey, 1A, 1B type thing, and they gotta commit.
If you get Bryce Underwood last year, I would imagine that you'll take other quarterbacks, quote unquote, if you want to call it that. But then maybe at that point you do put 80, 90% of those eggs that you have into the Elijah Haven basket, knowing that I'm pretty sure he knows he's going to sit behind this guy. You didn't get him last year. So now you can't put yourself in a situation once you get here is, I need to have a quarterback that we feel great about, committed early, hopefully signed, that we can get him through where we need to get him. Because that allows us to make sure we have one lockdown in this class. Like, you just can't, you can't put that guy, you can't put him off, you can't put Little Nuss off, you can't put, if Elijah Haven was the one in, you had these other guys, you can't put them off because you have to be able to lock one down in this class.
Correct.
They ain't getting burned again.
No.
Can't get burned again. You just can't.
No.
And switching gears here, last one. Lynn Dupree Lynn, baseball topic.
Yep.
We all discussed the group of homegrown talent committed to Coach Johnson's Fighting Tigers baseball team for 2027.
You're talking about the homegrown talent that we have coming in?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, look.
You've been yearning for this.
I love, and you can go back to Skip's days. They always recruited nationally. They had guys from Miami. They had guys from California. They recruited nationally. So that is important to recruit nationally. But if you go look at the fabric of what made LSU baseball great historically and what's made them great in 2023, what made them great last year, is you have a core group of very good, talented Louisiana players on campus, right? There's a lot to be said for having guys grow up and want to be here and want to play at LSU that are from Louisiana, right? Having them mixed in with some of the top talent around the country, and you're seeing that, and then having the crop of the 2027 guys being so super talented in the state of Louisiana, I think that's only going to continue to enhance LSU's prowess in college baseball.
I got the premise of the question, but again, I couldn't hear what was said. Can you ask it again?
Say it with your chest, Lloyd.
Okay.
No, it's like kind of breaking up for some reason, like at random times when y'all are saying something. So like it gets really choppy at certain points.
Chopper style.
Discuss the group of homegrown talent committed to Coach Johnson's Fighting Tigers baseball team for 2027.
I don't know who's committed of homegrown talent, respectfully.
Well, I think he's saying. I think he's saying that.
A ton of attention to it.
Let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
Jay Johnson recruiting and gathering a lot of Louisiana talent. What's the importance of that to you?
I mean, it's important. I think it's always important to be able to grab some homegrown talent, but I do think at this point, and it's been this way for a while, so it's not like it's anything new, LSU is a national recruiting place. Like, we're going to go get the best talent that there is because you have that opportunity. I do think being able to implant as much homegrown talent that makes sense on a team. So if it's a year where there's more talent there's more talent in the area, then you obviously, you want to go get them and you want to build a fence around those guys. But at the end of the day, as much of a brand that LSU has grown, I think it's understood that it's not just a Louisiana-based team. And, Mikey already alluded to it by saying, even go back and look at the skip days, and there's guys on the team from Miami and all over the place. Like, it's been this way for a while, so yes, it is important. It's important for people to understand what that jersey means when you put it on. But the story of it is so storied now. There's a lot of people, much like Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson said this is the only place he wanted to leave where he was to coach. He's not a Louisiana guy, but he watched Skip growing up. So, you got to take those things and understand that a lot of kids get a chance to see purple and gold nationwide now. And so that stuff means a lot to them as well, even though they may not grow up in the state.
Correct. I mean, look, two of the best pitchers that did not went to Vanderbilt both grew up loving LSU and wanting to play for LSU, and the pitching coach that we had at the time, no names will be said, did not capitalize.
Man, you can go back to 2009 and go back to 2009. Three of our best players went out from the state. You got Lewis Coleman from Mississippi. You got Anthony Renato from New Jersey. You got DJ LeMahieu from Michigan. If they're not on the team, we don't win.
Correct.
They're not from the state.
Correct. And what I was saying is the two guys that they're both in the big leagues. You had Tyler Beatty, who went to Vanderbilt, and you had Walker Buehler, who also went to Vanderbilt. Both grew up really, really big LSU fans, and
swing and a miss.
Well, we didn't even. It wasn't even. It was a bunt attempt, I think.
Oh,
yeah, it was not good.
Check swing.
Obviously, that's not. We're not going to talk about. It had nothing to do with Maneri. It was a pitching coach issue, which we're not going to
rectified.
We're not getting. Yeah, a long time ago, rectified. We're not going to get into that conversation. But we appreciate the Ask Mikey and Mitch questions as always. We enjoy the back and forth. We enjoy the questions. We enjoy the prompts for more conversations. I do want to talk a little bit about, go back to the college football conversation. for a little bit before we get out of here. Jared, I know you got a flight. Heart out. I mentioned the Missouri-South Carolina game, right? Like I mentioned that it was 10.5, the Florida-Miami game. But there's some very, like, interesting matchups that are happening this weekend. I'm trying to pull up the schedule again because they, like, for me, Tulane at Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss wins that game, but Tulane's really good, right? I think Tulane's going to give them a little bit of the run for their money. Ole Miss is that game to win.
Baby Mahomes?
Baby Mahomes, but I think it's more about not necessarily Baby Mahomes. I think it's more about
What's the spread?
2.5. Michigan's favored by 2.5 at Nebraska.
I'd take Nebraska.
Nebraska.
That might be on the list.
I know.
Matt
We're early for the list yet, but
well, no, you got to get it. See, this is where I've been trying to maybe in my mind.
Actually, I'm glad you said it. I think we should come up with a parlay before Friday.
Yes, the lines changed too much.
Yes, I'm with you.
Because I do think there's a lot of Bryce Underwood hype as there should be. It's a great story.
And I think he's going to be
Michigan.
Good. But it's hard as a true freshman, dude.
It is. And also, I think that Matt Rule in his third year is becoming something that he's inevitable when it comes to college football. He's won everywhere he's gone. Obviously, the Carolina Panthers story did not work out. Never really had a fair shake at it. You saw what happened to Joe Brady whenever he left town. I think he's doing just fine in Buffalo. But Matt Rule back in college where it feels like he belongs and him having time to build that program, I think they're going to be very good this year.
Look, and they've gotten better, and he's third year. That's his year, right? That's what he feels like. He can build a program. I'm on the Nebraska train. I am, and I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship, or make the playoffs, or whatever. But it's hard as a true freshman to go out there on the road and win big games.
Yep.
What you think, Jay?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a good chance for him to get it done. I think, yeah, man, like people don't realize like that true freshman thing, going on the road and getting up to another level, like it's just a little bit different. Now, I think this is some super valuable experience, and by all accounts, too. If you listen to people talk about Bryce Underwood, even since this season has started, it's like unlike you've heard people talk about young kids in the game. Like they literally say like he is an alien, like he's not like everybody else. It's a little bit different, and the compliments even from the coaching staff is so otherworldly. It doesn't even sound like he's a good player, he'll be good. They're literally kind of trying to tell you he has a chance to be a generational player. Because he is a generational talent already. We had one of those already, right? Like we had that conversation. He has a chance to be a generational type player. So I do think the lumps that he may or is taking this year already has taken this year is something that may propel him to a different spot. But yeah, it's a tough spot for him.
Yeah, no doubt. And then I think the one that's going to be extremely interesting is Auburn at Oklahoma. You got Arnold going back to Oklahoma, and Auburn's kind of they're playing some good football. Obviously, Oklahoma's playing some really good football. That's going to be, that's a fun. I think that's like, I feel to me that like kicks off the SEC schedule. You know what I mean? Like, just feels like, after this week, you're going to start seeing a lot more of these big time SEC matchups, and that's one that I'm obviously very interested in.
That's probably the matchup that I'm most excited in seeing this week, man.
Oklahoma favored by 6.5.
When you watch Mateer play, if I'm being completely honest, his style of play is the style of play when you watch a quarterback play in 2025, where you're like, that's what a Heisman Trophy winner looks like. Now, at the end of the year, whether they have enough wins and or he has the stats to back that up for that to be the case, we will see. But the style of play that he plays is the kind where you're like, okay, that looks a little bit different, right? And then by all accounts, Oklahoma thought they had that guy last year when they had Jackson Arnold. And now all he's done is transfer to the next spot, and they've won. And this is at a spot where we kind of thought like, hey, beginning of the year, Hugh Freeze is probably on a hot seat if they don't start winning ball games. So now they're going to kind of meet in this situation, and I like this one. This is a good one coming up this week.
I like that too. Hey, let me ask you a question. Texas Tech's playing at Utah. Noon kickoff for Fox. 11 a.m. for Fox. What time is that in Utah?
They're in Mountain Time, right? So that's 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock or
so
9
they're
o'clock?
playing a 10 a.m. game. Right?
Not at 10
is that right?
I believe. I think they're in Mountain Time. I think so. I'm not I don't know.
I mean, that's crazy to me that they would do that.
I mean, they did it with, what was it, Cal? Remember they had game day, and it was like 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What time is it?
That's crazy, though.
And where? Utah?
Utah.
Right now, it's 5:30 here.
5:22, actually.
It's 4:22.
So it's an hour. So they're 10 a.m. game. Texas Tech going over there playing 10 a.m. game.
Texas Tech used to that time zone.
Not time zone. Texas Tech's not Mountain Time.
It's only 1 hour different.
I know, but still, I mean, 10 a.m. game. Texas Tech hadn't played a 10 a.m. game. It's just to me that all that stuff is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're obviously not going to put our parlay in yet. We're going to put it on later.
One sneaky one.
Yep. What you got?
And Sab said it in the chat. Save you on green. I've been thinking this. I don't know. It won't make the parlay. Sneaking suspicion: Florida beats Miami.
Listen. That's why I brought up earlier in the game. I mean, in the show. Like,
everybody's writing them off. They're getting what? 17 points, 14 points.
No,
7.5.
6.
6.
No, 7.5. 7.5.
It's a little low.
That's my point. The 7.5 spread made it feel like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be like a 10-point spread based off of what you've seen from Florida.
Florida familiar with Carson Beck.
Florida's defense good.
Good. DJ Lagway not bad.
Not a big travel for them. DJ Lagway coming off his worst start of his career.
No Jabbar Juluke though.
Be a big one. I don't know if they win, but I think it's going to be a good game.
I think it'll be. Yeah, I'm with you. Very intrigued.
That's why I brought it up earlier, because it's just...
Because Miami, what, best team in the country?
So far. Eye test.
Vanderbilt?
Eye test. Vanderbilt, big eye test. Vanderbilt still only ranked 20.
Mike, can I ask you this question?
That is a thumbs down right there.
Yeah.
Look, you got the thumbs down. That definitely is a thumbs down. The drops.
That's probably the biggest issue.
That probably helps. That might help a little bit.
Illinois, Indiana, this is one that they're going to just...
Shove down your throat.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, see, they beat the top 10 team, or they beat a top 20 team. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like...
Florida money line?
I don't know if I'm taking that. Maybe, though. Maybe. All right. Lloyd, you got a mistake of the day?
I do have a mistake of the day, and this is air traffic control. As Spirit Airlines...
Could be a curtain call from air traffic control.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, just because of what was said during the conversation,
yeah.
It turns into a mistake of the day because somebody was not paying attention as the Spirit Airlines was coming mighty close to the vaunted and very big and hard to miss Air Force One, and so air traffic control had a few choice words for the Spirit Airlines.
New York Air Force 1300, climbing 320. Air Force 134.0. Spirit 1300 traffic off your left wing by 8 miles, 747. I'm sure you can see who it is. It's flight level 320, maintain 330. I'll keep an eye out for them, white and blue. Spirit 1300, Boston Center 134.0. I got to talk to you twice every time. Spirit 1300, Boston 134.0. Pay attention, get off the iPad.
Pay attention. Get off the iPad.
Get off your iPad.
I like that. Goodbye air traffic control, bad by the pilot.
I've heard that. I spread this in the Twitter comments that it's actually on Air Force One, but I guess they control the sky.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but that was funny.
It was.
We'll say this. Sports Talk Media Network from South Carolina. Now, 859 followers. So
It's a lot.
we don't know how credible this is. You get this a lot from a lot of colleges. A source close to Lenore Sellers shared with us this afternoon that the South Carolina quarterback did practice this morning and should be fine for the Missouri game this Saturday. The Gamecocks availability report will be out tonight around 8:10 p.m.
You got to get it in before that.
I just got it in.
Not-
I got it at +10. I just bet it.
It's already dropped half a point.
Well, I was on the app that I have. The ESPN bet was -10.5 or 10.5. So I did put the bet in. We'll see.
I'll ride with you.
All right. I got it in early. All right, curtain call.
Curtain call, one that maybe could have been mentioned earlier, but I thought I'd save it as everybody is talking LSU football. Seems like the old Intimidator got a little facelift over the weekend, as it used to be, celebrating the top college baseball attendance in the country. Jay Johnson had different things in mind considering the recent success and the history of LSU, and so this is what we have now.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that a lot. 8 of them things.
That's crazy.
8.
Was that a show curtain call?
It can be.
I like that. I like that as a show curtain call. I do want to have a.
I feel like it could be, yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be the curtain call. I mean, there's nothing. Can't get much better than that. I do want to add staying on the baseball train, just because I think this is pretty crazy of what he's doing. The big dumper.
Yeah.
Hit home runs number 55 and number 56. Last night he's on pace for 60 home runs. He is he now owns the single season home run record for a switch hitter, passing Mickey Mantle, and has tied Ken Griffey Jr. for the most homers in one season by Mariner. Unbelievable season. Obviously there's a couple weeks left, so I'm rooting for him to get to 60. He'll be the 4th AL player ever, I think, to have 60 home runs. Historic season for him, and all-time great nickname, Big Dumper.
Big Dumper.
Yeah.
Put it
Also,
As a catcher, too. That's kind of crazy work.
as a catcher. Also,
And he's a good defensive catcher.
Shohei Ohtani back-to-back 50 home run seasons.
He didn't want to steal any bases this year.
Nah, I mean, I think he stole a lot. I don't know if he didn't sell 50 again, but
He's got a pitch.
got to pitch. I think he's the first person ever to have 50 home runs and 50 strikeouts in a season as a pitcher, which obviously he hasn't pitched his full repertoire of, starts, but
He's the best player ever.
ever. Most talented player, I think, ever. From what he does. But
Terrible gambler.
bad gambler. Yes. All right. That's
Can't
all.
win them all.
That's all we got for you on this beautiful Wednesday. Jared, where are you flying to?
San Diego.
Hey, San Diego. Good spot. Work or pleasure?
Work.
Hey. Okay.
San Diego. It's hard to frown in San Diego.
San Diego.
Whale's vagina.
I think that means a whale's vagina. No.
San Diego.
No, I
Stay
don't
class,
think.
baby.
I don't think that's what that means, but we'll have safe travels. We appreciate you
Yes.
making some time for the show. Lloyd, enjoy your movie theater concert.
You don't have to worry about me.
What you got tonight? Oh, Indigo. You got everything you need. IndigoPapers.com. Go check it out.
160 milligrams of candy.
Give us the review on that.
Absolutely.
You're going to be crushing popcorn and ices.
Mm-hmm.
That's my go-to at the movie theater. Popcorn and icy. I did get you an icy today, though.
I know.
So you already
double up.
Maybe you had the quota. Who knows? All right. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us or anywhere you get your pods. We appreciate the love and support. We'll be back live Friday. No, probably Thursday. Maybe not. Thursday or Friday. We'll let you know. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you at the end of the week. Love y'all. Peace.